Arguably, world is facing existential challenges. And the challenges are connected very much with the possible exceedance of the planetary boundaries. And the reason is that the current trends will definitely take us in that direction. That means that world is in some ways at the crossroads, and we have to understand then how to overcome this inertia of the historical development and transform the society and essentially everything we do to avoid the negative tipping of the Earth systems. And I think this is what the planetary boundaries stand for. And by tipping, we mean potential loss of some of the critical functions of the Earth system that support life as we know it. And at the same time, and I would like to amplify that, at the same time, we are leaving many people behind. Billions do not have access to clean water, they do not have access to energy, do not have access to healthy food, and so on, not to go through the list. So it's a dual challenge, and this is what motivates me to work in this area and to be on the jury, because the Frontier Planetary Prize, I think, is a kind of a, let's call it Nobel Prize for the sustainable development, and I think it's creating not just visibility, it's much, much more than that. I think it's creating a scientific community to work in this direction because the challenge is so huge. The world has problems, and science has disciplines. So this is a clear mismatch in some ways. So the future direction, and this is where the Frontier Planetary Prize, I think, is also can catalyze the process in a very important way. So the future direction means integration, means inclusiveness, not just different disciplines, but perhaps also different parts of our society. Science is for the people, and it's about the people, and therefore we have to involve also the people, various groups, in the effort. So I think that needs to be the future direction. So let me just try to summarize it. I think the science needs to be integrative, needs to be inclusive, and needs to be systemic, because many of these problems can be hardly untangled from each other. I mean, for example, all of the planetary boundaries are connected to each other, and they create cascades of development. So from that point of view, I think the research has to go in that direction, and I think, again, let me repeat, I think the Frontier Planetary Prize is so important because it can catalyze process in this way and build a scientific community to work on these important questions. I would like to be a bit provocative and say that without science there is no future. That means that science needs to be informative. It needs to inform the people about the future, about the collective future of us on a safe and just planet. And I think this is the message to the community, that we need to organize ourselves, bring the message to everybody. I think in particularly Global South, we have been talking quite a lot about that, how to strengthen the Frontier Planet Prize by making it much more transparent to the Global South. So my message is, let us build an important community that brings also other parts of the society on board, to have what one could call a new social contract. That's, by the way, a contract that none of us have signed, but we have to live with it. So we need a new social contract in this direction. Science can enable and empower that, and I think new behaviors and new values.